what's good, what's up, what's poppin'? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Talou. It's Talou. If you're new, hey love, make sure you hit that subscribe button to be part of the family. All right, so this video is another true crime video, but before we get into the video, I don't know if you noticed, but if you didn't notice, I deleted the other two true crime videos because I just didn't like how they were. I didn't like it at all, and the more I kept watching it, the more I hated it, so I deleted them. So we're just gonna pretend like this is the first ever True Crime Thursday video on my channel. So welcome to my new series called True Crime Thursdays, where we talk about true crimes, serial killers, and all of that juicy stuff. Before we get into the video, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Now, let's get into the video. All right, so as you can already tell by the title, this video is about Denise Rader, aka BTK, or the BTK Strangler. BTK, it stands for bind, torture, and kill, just for future reference. He was born to Dorothea Rader and William Rader in Kansas on March 9th, 1945, and he's still alive to this day. He had 3 brothers, and interviewing him, you learned that like his parents worked long hours and they basically paid no attention to the children at home, and so he grew to resent his mother because of that. I don't know why he didn't resent his dad either, but yeah. So we're just gonna do a little background on Denise before like we get into like the murders and the investigation and them finally capturing. All right, so it's been said from a young age that he had sadistic sexual fantasies of torturing helpless and trapped women, and he also practiced like zoo sadism by torturing, killing, and hanging like small animals. And sometimes he acted out his fantasies by cross-dressing. He would also like watch his like female neighbors when they're changing and stuff, and he would like when he cross-dressed, he would also wear like female underwear, and he would like masturbate with binds and ropes and stuff like around his neck and his arms. I don't know why he did that. He also had sexual fetishes for voyeurism and autoerotic asphyxiation. This guy was absolutely insane. However, all his neighbors and like the people who lived around him in his little community, they would all say that he was polite and well-mannered and he normal. Nobody ever knew about these fantasies or like these peeping Tom habits that he had, or like killing animals. Like nobody knew. It was all under wraps. Nobody knew nothing. Nobody knew nothing about nothing with this guy. He was a great actor, I will say that. So after high school, he attended Kansas Western University, but he had mediocre grades, and I guess he didn't really like college, which I completely understand. So he dropped out after a year, and then in 1966, he enlisted in the United States Air Force, and he was there through 1970. So when he got out of the Air Force, he worked at a meat factory. He worked at a meat, is it a meat factory? I don't know. He worked with meat. He was in May of 1971, May 22nd, 1971, he married his wife, Paula Dretz, and they had 2 children. So in May of 1991, he became a dog catcher and a compliance officer in Park City. He was known to be overzealous and extremely strict for like absolutely no reason. He was also known to bully and harass single women who like just came to the park or whatever. And then one time a neighbor also complained that like he just killed her dog for no reason. He was also a member of the Christian Lutheran Church and was elected, wait for it, president of the church council. President of the church council. All right, so now we're gonna get into the murders, and his MO usually is to stalk his victims for like a couple days or a couple weeks so he can know like their daily routine. So like, you know, he memorizes it and he's able to like go in when there's nobody else there and just like, you know, kill people. So usually he would torture them, tie them up, and then kill them through like strangling, like strangulations or hangings, or suffocation with like plastic bags or belts or ropes or whatever, except for one victim who he stabbed 3 times in the abdomen. I don't know why he did that one that way. So like because of that, the murder was like not associated with him until he wrote a letter and like claimed responsibility. Let's just go. On January 15th, 1974, 4 members of the Otero family were found to be murdered. Joseph Otero, which was the father, Julie Otero, which was the wife, Josephine, which was the second child, she was 11, and Joseph Jr., who was 9, the last child. They were found murdered in their house, and they were found by their oldest child, who was in the 10th grade, so about like 14, 15, 16. In 1978, he sent a letter to a television station called the KAKE, basically claiming responsibility for the Oteros, and then he listed 3 other victims that he killed. So the Otero family, Catherine Bright, Nancy Fox, and Shirley Vian. And then he also suggested names for the television station to call him when they were reporting the case. And, you know, he gave them BTK, which is what they used to bind, torture, kill. AK. All right, so he intended to kill a woman. Her name was Anna Williams. She was 63 at the time. But he wasn't able to kill her because she didn't come home on time, like according to his schedule, because, you know, he was stalking people. According to his schedule, he didn't come home, or she didn't come home. He was obsessed with her. He became very obsessed with her because he didn't like how she, like, escaped death. And he was absolutely livid. According to him, that's literally what he said, absolutely livid that he couldn't kill her. He stalked her all the time, and he became obsessed with her. He wanted to kill her, but I guess she started switching up her routine, which is smart. She started switching up her routine, and so he just kind of gave up. Okay, so another victim was Maureen Hedge, and she was found on May 5th, 1985, but she was actually killed April 7th of that year. He took her dead body to his church. He had already laid out plastic bags on the floor of the church because he knew what he was going to do. He laid out plastic bags, and then he bound her body and started like taking pictures of her. And then when he was done, he took pictures of her in different positions, and then when he was done, he just threw her in a ditch. And then his final victim was Dolores E. Davis, and she was found February 1st, but she was actually killed on January 19th. By 2004, the case was considered cold. Police had no evidence, no witness, nothing connecting anyone to anything. They didn't even have suspects or nothing. They didn't have anything. So the case went cold. So I guess he started to get a little bit cocky, and he began a series of 11 communications with the police department and the news stations, and he was writing them letters detailing the murders, writing the victims' names, and he was just telling them how he killed them, basically. And so he would like include pictures of the crime scene, some like, you know how like serial killers will take something of the victim? Yeah, he would include those things that he took. One lady, he took a picture of her, a photocopy of her driver's license, and he would just like give them pictures of the crime scene. And so these letters and communications finally led to his arrest in February of 2005. On February 25th, he was driving to his house around noon, and then he was arrested by the police. And one of the arresting officers actually asked him, "Do you know why you're being taken downtown?" And he said, "I have an idea." Sir, are you kidding me? So the police department, the FBI, and the ATF went and searched his home, searched his vehicle, and searched his church, and they found evidence including a computer equipment, a pair of black pantyhose, and a cylindrical container. I don't know what was in the container, but they took it. He confessed to having another kill date that was set in October 2004. He even like already knew the person he was gonna kill. He had started stalking the person, so thank God they made that arrest. Why was his kill date so far away? But thank God, regardless, that they made the arrest. On March 1st, his bail was set at $10 million. $1 million for every person he killed. And so a public defender was assigned to represent him. And then on May 3rd, the judge entered a not guilty plea for him because he didn't speak at his arraignment. However, on June 27th, which was the scheduled trial date, he pleaded guilty, confessed to all the murders, and he was not remorseful, didn't have no apology for anything. I think he was a psychopath, according to like professionals. I think he was a psychopath. So they made another trial date on August 8th, and then at that trial date they had the victims' families speak about how the murders affected their families, how they missed their loved ones, and all this other stuff. And he gave a 30-minute monologue apologizing, but they were like it was like an Academy Award speech. So like he was like accepting responsibility for the murders, but like he was bragging about it, kind of. Insane. Y'all be careful. If you see something suspicious, please tell somebody. Don't walk home alone at night. Don't walk home alone, period, if you can, but especially at night. Like, just please be careful. Make sure you have pepper spray, a pocket knife, mace, a gun, something on you, because people really out here crazy. Like, and make sure your windows are always closed when you're changing, because people are literally insane. Okay, so he was sentenced to 10 consecutive life sentences at 175 years minimum, period. So he's not getting out at all. He is currently in solitary confinement for his own safety. Personally, I feel like they should just leave him and let the prisoners do whatever they want to do with them, but whatever. He's in solitary confinement for his own safety. I guess people are like fighting him all the time and beating him up and all that stuff. He now has access to TV and radio and magazines to read for good behavior. And they moved him to the El Dorado Correctional Facility. And so that is the end of this case. Like I said before, please be careful, because people are literally crazy. The Bible says, I'm not trying to force Bible on nobody, but listen, the heart of man is desperately wicked. You don't know what's going on in the hearts of anybody that's walking around you. They might look like the nicest person ever, and they want to kill you. So please be careful. Please stay alert. Don't be touching on your phone when you walking or whatever. Like, when you come in the house, make sure you put the key in the lock, open, and enter. Quick. Everything got to be quick. Because people be watching. They be watching you. Be careful. Be absolutely careful. And that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope this one's better than the other one. Hopefully I don't get annoyed at this video as well. Anyway, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Like I said before, make sure you follow me on all my social medias. They'll be in the description box below. Have a wonderful time in the world.